Audi has expanded its electric portfolio in Australia with the introduction of the new e-tron S. This is the first fully electrified member of the Audi fleet to wear the S badge. So question is, does it raise the performance bar appropriately?
The e-tron S and e-tron S Sportback follow closely in the wheel tracks of the regular e-tron range, which has been on sale since late 2020. The brief here is more performance, some suitable styling tweaks, and a healthy bump in price to the order of $22,000 for the traditional wagon-shaped e-tron S driven here. Riding on large 21-inch wheels, the e-tron S stands out from its donor with 23mm wider wheel arches, aluminium wing mirrors and S-grille badging. Or if you feel the need, there are optional virtual mirrors fitted to our test car. They save a claimed 6 kilometres in range over a full charge and cost an estimated $3,000.
The biggest change from e-tron to e-tron S has actually occurred underneath the skin. There's a carryover front mounted motor. On the rear there are now 2 electric motors, so 3 motors in total, which Audi claims is a first for a production car. Total outputs are now listed at 370 kilowatts and 973 newton meters.
All told, the 95 kilowatt hour battery offers a combined 413 kilometres worth of range in e-tron S form, together with a 0 to 100 time of 4.5 seconds. That increases to 5.1 seconds when you're not in boost mode. As for all important charging, you're looking at 30 minutes to 80% when connected to an ultra-rapid fast charger, or up to 13 hours using a home wall box connection supplied with the vehicle purchase.
The interior is largely carryover from the regular Audi e-tron, and trust me when I say that is no bad thing. A couple of new trims, particularly in the top half of the dashboard, but the same carryover screens, so 2 in the centre fascia, matched by a revised version of Audi's excellent virtual instrument cluster. The premium feel of the cabin, the materials, the quality of the seats and everything else, they do go a long way in justifying the lofty price tag here. It is a really nice place to spend time, and thanks to the electric layout, there's plenty of storage and space as well.
Valcona leather upholstery teams with S seats up front to accentuate the sportiness. The seats and steering wheel are heated, though the latter offers no ventilation. The infotainment is likewise first class and comprehensive, covering all our key requisites, though those middle screens are a magnet for fingerprints. And likewise, the e-tron S scores strongly for safety, retaining a 5-star rating applied to the donor model in 2019. The rear seat offers sound accommodation for adults and little ones alike, with ample space for longer journeys, a strong outward view and ISOFIX attachment points on the outboard seats. The 606 litre boot is accessed via an electric tailgate and offers split fold seat levers and a handy storage space underneath. However, there is no spare tyre.
Okay, so the Audi e-tron S. You jump inside, and as with the regular e-tron, beautiful appointments, really nicely modulated controls, as in the steering, the pedals, everything else. You can play around with the brake regeneration, and of course you can stick it in sport mode and see how it goes. The truth is, it's hardly night and day. 370 kilowatts is a lot in anyone's language. Initially, it doesn't really feel like this car boasts that much power or torque. It is, I guess, explosive from a standstill, but by electric car standards, it's not really moving the needle. Once you're up and running, I'd kind of describe rolling acceleration as more linear than explosive or powerful. It's certainly not a huge step, not in the same way that an S3 would be to a garden variety Audi A3.
Audi's claim of a 413 kilometre range felt instantly optimistic on test. We found the number closer to 340 kilometres, which is similar in reality to the regular e-tron 55. And although there are some impressive performance numbers at play, you have to remember this is against the physics of a 2.6 tonne curb weight.
The e-tron S gets a little bit more power, it gets a little bit more torque, but the bottom line is that it's just a wonderfully executed car for the road. It handles corners nicely, it's got a great stability control suite to back it up, adequate rubber. It just feels really confident and composed on a mix of surfaces. In terms of the compromise you have to make in terms of that performance, well, really there's not too much. Suspension is slightly stiffer, but in comfort mode it's not exactly fidgety. You occasionally get a thud, maybe rarely a crash if you hit a big pothole in the road, but all things considered, you're not really paying a huge price for the performance on offer. Is it enough to really sway you from the regular e-tron? Probably not in my mind. The reality here is that you're losing a little bit of range in order to get that performance, and there's not really any sort of real enticers in terms of equipment or anything else to get you over the line. So while this is a really competent, really enjoyable car on the road, it's kind of selling itself to a niche audience. I think for the greater EV audience, they're going to want a little bit more range to go with that performance as well.
Where the e-tron S argument really gains momentum is with after-sales provisions. A 6-year ChargeFox public charging subscription, 6 years free service and roadside assist, and the installation of a household wall box included in the purchase price. When you consider the equipment, driving traits and refinement on offer, it makes for a compelling package. But it goes without saying the e-tron S commands a healthy premium for the privilege.